Hello, I am Manas Mandal. I am a specialist heat exchanger thermal engineer. Since graduating from IIT Delhi 36 years ago, I have worked in three big companies, HPCL Mumbai Refinery for 5 years as crude refinery operations engineer. Later to Yale Delhi as heat exchanger thermal designer for 16.5 years. And lastly in Fluor Daniel India for 14 years as subject matter expert of HTLI software. I am handling HTLI software for 31 years and I have trained engineers both in Yale and Fluor. I have released some papers in hydrocarbon processing and chemical engineering magazines to share my experience in thermal design of heat exchanger. Now I have decided to start my YouTube channel with a blog series named Heat Exchanger Thermal Design Made Easy to share my experience and knowledge acquired over the years in this field. The name of my first blog is Easy Estimation of Heat Exchanger Surface Area, which describes some easy steps to estimate surface area requirement of heat exchangers with the help of easily available charts, tables, graphs and minor calculations. You can communicate your like and dislike of the blog with comments which will guide me in my future blogs. If you like my channel, I would request you to subscribe my channel so that you do not miss out any of the blogs. You can press the bell below with your like and dislike comments. The name of my first blog is Easy Estimation of Heat Exchanger Surface Area. I will start with the definition of heat exchanger. It's a mechanical device to transfer heat from a hot fluid to a cold fluid or absorb heat from a hot fluid to a cold fluid. Hundreds of heat exchangers can be found in plants such as in chemical or petrochemical industry or in a refinery. Different forms of configuration exist such as shell and tube heat exchangers, which are workforce for any plant, as 90 to 95% of total exchangers are of this category. Then we can have air-cooled exchangers, plate frame heat exchangers, electric heaters, welded plate exchangers, circular plate exchangers, and so on. These are required for energy conservation purposes and other chemical process reasons. Which surface area is to be estimated? Exchangers have either tubes or plates for heat transfer. So surface area of tubes in shell and tube or air-cooled exchangers and plates in plate frame exchangers are to be estimated. The main equation or the main calculation is around A equals to Q by U by MTD, where Q is the heat duty, U is the overall heat transfer coefficient, and MTD is the mean temperature difference across a hot and cold medium. Why do we need to know or estimate heat exchanger surface area? Exchangers constitute a major part of project cost, since cost of exchanger is basically a function of type, material, surface area or weight, and complexity of fabrication. The more optimized the heat exchanger surface area and the less the complexity, the less the project cost and more validity of the project. Many heat exchangers require high quality material due to their process requirement at high operating temperature, pressure, chemical reasons, reactions, or chemical or corrosion reasons. How heat is transferred in the equipment? It is generally done by conduction process, convection process, and sometimes
by radiation process, but basically mainly by conduction and convection process. Conduction process is by which heat energy is transmitted through collisions between neighboring atoms or molecules. Conduction occurs more readily in solids and liquids, where the particles are closer together than in gases, where particles are farther apart. At higher temperature, fluids have high levels of energy in their atoms or molecules. Their energy is transferred through vibration to the colder fluid body having atoms and molecules with less energy. In this process, high temperature fluid body gets cooled. By convection process, when a fluid such as a gas or a liquid is heated and then travels away from the source, it carries the thermal energy along. This type of heat transfer is called convection. The fluid above a hot surface expands, becomes less dense and rises. Convection process is the main mode of heat transfer in heat exchangers through the movement of collecting masses of heated atoms and molecules. It depends on basically flow regimes such as turbulent or laminar. At high turbulence, more convection and heat transfer can be seen, but in laminar regime, heat transfer is lesser due to stratified flow. Stratified flow cannot be avoided near the wall of tubes or plate surfaces where there will be a tendency to form a laminar film of gas or liquid depending on the type of medium. In radiation process, it is the emission or transmission of energy in the form of waves or particles through space or through a material medium. This includes electromagnetic radiation such as radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays and gamma radiation. Heat transfer takes place through vacuum basically. Radiation is not generally a mode of heat transfer in heat exchanger. We can have one example here where the metal container is being heated up by the heating coil. Radiated heat from the coil hits the outer surface of the container and the adjacent atmosphere. The conducted heat is passed from the metal body to the lowest layer of the fluid upwards and the handle. The convection heat gets transferred to the outer layer of the fluid and circulation of fluid is generated inside the container. These are the circulation happening. So radiation is hitting the metal body and outer surface. Conduction is taking place at the lower level and convection towards the upper layer. Design objective of heat exchanger is to provide minimum contact surface for maximum heat transfer to make the device economical. In most applications, the fluids do not mix with each other, but heat is transferred through a separating wall that takes on a wide variety of geometry. But there are some where fluids mix while transferring heat from one to another. In general, heat exchanger can be of two types, recuperator type or direct contact heat exchanger. A recuperator is a special purpose counterflow energy recovery heat exchanger positioned within the supply and return streams of a chemical process system. It can be an air preheater also in a furnace where exhaust and flue gases exchange heat with combustion air, which is cold, in order to recover the waste heat from the flue gases. Refer the picture given on the right side, where hot flue gas at high temperature comes to this air preheater, which is a moving drum having a lot of baffles. These baffles get heated by the hot flue gas, and when the drum is moving, these baffles come in contact with cold combustion air and exchange heat to the combustion air. And in this process, combustion air gets heated up. In this way, they use waste energy to heat the air, offsetting some of the fuel, and therefore improves the energy efficiency of the system as a whole. Crude fuel heat exchangers in preheat train is another example of recuperator, since crude unit products heat is recovered in these exchangers to preheat crude. In direct contact equipment, we can have cooling tower. The induced fans in the cooling tower operating on top of the tower suck air into the tower at the bottom or through the fills. The air interacts with falling hot water which is coming from the plant, falling on the fills, and in this process the water gets cooled. Heat is transferred through convection, conduction processes, along with some kind of mass transfer, where some amount of air is discharged from top along with warm air. There are 4 types of flow patterns in heat exchangers: co-current flow, counter-current flow, cross flow, and mixed flow. In co-current flow, where two fluids flow parallelly to one another in the same direction. Here hot fluid and cold fluid are flowing in the same direction. In counter-current flow, two fluids will flow parallel to one another but in opposite direction. Hot fluid is flowing from right to left, where cold fluid is flowing left to right. In cross flow, two fluid will cross each other. Cold fluid is flowing towards the right, where hot fluid is flowing from top to bottom, and therefore they are crossing each other. Mixed flow, where both fluids are simultaneously in parallel flow, in counter flow, and multipass cross flow. Here hot fluid is entering in the top of the channel in first pass, going into the tubes, and then going to the second pass through the crossover, and in coming out from the second pass, where the shell side fluid is entering in the bottom of the exchanger, going to the top, coming to the bottom, and crisscrossing through the baffles and coming out from the top of the exchanger. So it is moving in parallel to the cold fluid, hot fluid, then it is in counter flow to the cold fluid, and in cross flow also. In basic equations of heat exchanger, we have heat lost or heat gained is equal to mass flow multiplied by specific heat multiplied by temperature difference. Heat lost from hot medium QH therefore is nothing but mass flow multiplied by hot specific heat and temperature difference of the hot fluid. Similarly, cold medium heat gained is nothing but MC multiplied by CPC, which is the specific heat of cold fluid and temperature difference of the cold fluid. We can plot the heat duty with temperature, where TH1 is the hot fluid inlet temperature, TH2 the hot fluid outlet temperature. TC1 is the cold fluid inlet temperature, TC2 is the cold fluid outlet temperature. This is the counter current flow where no phase change is there. So this is QH, this is QC. Similarly, we can plot hot fluid and cold fluid in co-current flow, no phase change, where the direction is in the same direction. This is QH and this is QC. When there is a change of phase for one of the fluid, for example, here steam is condensing isothermally. Let's have counter current flow phase change with steam. TH1 can be, let's say, 120 degrees C. Steam is getting condensed and condensate temperature is also 120 degrees C because this is isothermal. But cold fluid, which can be cooling water, temperature is changing from TC1 to TC2. This can be QH and this is QC. In co-current flow, if one of the fluid is having phase change, let's say for this case where BFW is becoming steam, let's say temperature is 120 degrees C and here steam is coming out at 120 degrees C. Because since this is the isothermal, the gradient is parallel to Q. But hot medium, there is no change in phase. So at 200 degrees C, hot fluid is coming down to 150 degrees C. This is QH, this is QC. Now we'll calculate LMTD and surface area method. The temperature difference between hot and cold fluids, which is nothing but delta T, TH minus TC, varies with position in the heat exchanger. Heat exchanger can be of length L and dia D. So temperature will vary from inlet to outlet for both cold fluid and hot fluid. For counter flow exchangers, log mean temperature difference LMTD is defined by bigger temperature difference minus smaller temperature difference divided by ln bigger temperature divided by smaller temperature difference. What are bigger temperature difference? We have seen that TH1 is the hot inlet temperature, TH2 is the hot outlet temperature. So temperature is coming down from TH1 to TH2 and cold fluid temperature is TC1, it is going up to TC2. So higher difference is TH1 minus TC2 and smaller difference is TH2 to TC1. TH1 minus TC2, higher or bigger temperature difference, TH2 minus TC1 is the smaller temperature difference divided by ln into same TH1 minus TC2 divided by TH2 minus TC1. In this example, we'll calculate LMTD. Let's say TH1 or hot fluid inlet temperature is 150. It is coming down to 100 degrees C. So this is QH. Cooling water temperature, cold fluid temperature, inlet is 30 degree and going out at TC2 50 degree. So higher differential is TH1 minus TC2. TH1 minus TC2. Which is a greater differential? 150 minus 50. 150 minus 50. 100 degrees C. Smaller differential is this. So TH2 minus TC1. 100 minus 30, 70 degrees C. So when we plot this, 100 minus 70 divided by ln, in ln 100 by 70, it gives us 84.1 degrees C. In co-current flow, the same calculation can be done. Here, the greater differential is TH1. This is TH1 and TC1. So this is the greater differential. TH1 minus TC1, 150 minus 30 gives us 120 degrees C. Smaller differential is TH2 minus TC2, 100 minus 50, 50 degrees C. So finally it is giving us 120 minus 50 divided by ln 120 by 50 is giving us 79.95 degrees C, which is lower than counter current flow exchangers. LMTD, which we calculated just now, is not suitable for heat transfer analysis of cross flow and multiplus exchangers. We need a correction factor which is called F. So when F is multiplied with LMTD, it gives us MTD, and that MTD is multiplied with A and U to give us heat duty. F is a function of two terminologies, S and R, and it is also a function of flow arrangement. S is nothing but delta Tc, difference in cold fluid temperature, and delta T max. Delta T max is the temperature difference of hot inlet temperature, hot fluid inlet temperature, and cold fluid inlet temperature, which is the maximum temperature in any exchanger. Similarly, R is the ratio of hot fluid differential divided by cold fluid differential. TH1 minus TH2 divided by TC2 minus TC1. The chart on the right side is the plot of S versus R to give us F. The x-axis is giving us S. These curves are R values, and y-axis is F. So first we have to calculate S, which we will plot on R, and that will give us S, F. Well, after that, F is multiplied by LMTD calculated, and by that process we'll get Q. When we need area, surface area, and Q is given, from U and MTD we can calculate A. We'll have one worked out example. In an Indian refinery, let's have a shell and tube heat exchanger used for cooling gas oil from 150 to 100 degrees C by a coolant circulating cooling water, which in turn gets heated up from 30 to 150 degrees C, 30 to 50 degrees C. The estimated overall heat transfer coefficient is 250 kilocalorie per hour per meter square degree centigrade, which we have given in the table in the next slide. The design flow rate of gas oil is given 25,000 kg per hour, but cooling water flow rate is unknown. Specific heat of gas oil and circulating cooling water is given 0.543 and 1 kilocalorie per kg per degree centigrade respectively. We have to calculate MTD and surface area. From this table, we can see heavy gas oil versus water U value is given. It is ranging between 60 and 275. So we have estimated this to be 250 to start with. We have plotted the inlet outlet temperatures of both the fluids as we have done earlier. We have given two curves based on the inlet position of the hot medium. In one picture, it is at the opposite to the cooling water flow inlet outlet, or rather channel side, and in one it is adjacent to the channel side. So the direction of the fluid will change in one pass. Here in the top picture we can see the hot medium temperature is in the same direction with cold fluid in the top part of the exchanger, but it is happening opposite in the other example. Here the hot fluid is in the counter current to the cold fluid flow. Hot stream gas oil heat duty can be calculated from gas oil mass flow, specific heat of gas oil, and temperature difference of gas oil. So hot duty or hot fluid heat duty is mH multiplied by Cph multiplied by Th1 minus Th2, which is nothing but 25,000 multiplied by 0.543 multiplied by 150 difference of temperature 150 minus 100, which will give us 678,750 kilocalorie per hour heat duty. QC is not known. QC is cooling water heat duty, which is not known, but QH has to be equal to QC. So QC is nothing but 678,750. So we can, but CPC is also given TC2 minus TC1, which are the temperature difference of the cooling water, is also known. So MC is unknown, but 678,750 equals to MC multiplied by 1 multiplied by 50 minus 30 will give us 33937.5 kg per hour of cooling water. Now we have to calculate log mean temperature differential LMTD. How it is calculated? Already we have seen TH1 minus TC2 is the hot medium or greater differential hot medium temperature minus cold medium outlet temperature. So TH1 minus TC2 will give us 150 minus 50, 100 degrees C. Smaller differential we have seen in the earlier graph, TH2 minus TC1 equals to 100 minus 30 equals to 70. If you plot, this is Q, this is QC, QH, this is QC. This is TH1, this is TH2, this is TC1, this is TC2. So greater differential is TH1 minus TC2. Smaller differential is TH2 minus TC1. And this is giving us 84.1 degrees centigrade, which we had calculated in earlier slide. S can be plotted after calculation. TC2 delta TC and delta T max. Delta TC is TC2 minus TC1 and delta TH1 minus TC1 will give us 50 minus 30 divided by 150 minus 30, which will give us 20 by 120, which is nothing but 0.166. So 0.166 is here. 0.166. This is S. Similarly, we can calculate R and then plot the R. R is nothing but delta TH divided by delta TC. Differential of hot fluid divided by differential of cold fluid. 150 minus 100 divided by 50 minus 30, which is giving us 2.5. So 2.5 graph is this. This is 2.5 R. Now we have to go upwards and cut this R at some point and then go parallelly to x-axis to cut F. This is 0.98. Put the value of 0.98 in the equation F into LMTD, which is giving us 82.4 degrees C. Now we all know Q equals to UA MTD. So Q is known to us 678750 divided by U given to us 250, and we have already calculated MTD 82.4, which is giving us 32.9 meter square of surface area required for this exchanger.